Boker Tov, good morning. Continuing with the community daily dose of Torah. I've been looking at the servant, the Hebrew indentured servant who says, "I don't want to go free in the Shemitah year. I want to stay. I love my master and the family that I have here. I want to stay." So the Torah says he goes to Beit Din, and there in Beit Din he has his an ear pierced against the threshold and the doorpost of the door, and so we left looking at the question, well, what is the message of that for the person who sold himself into servitude? Right? Continuing the Rashi. But if a person had sold himself, what's the symbolism? I think he's still quoting Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai. Ozen shesham'a al har Sinai, ki li b'nei Yisrael avadim. That ear which heard on Mount Sinai that all of the children of Israel are my servants, God speaking, ki li b'nei Yisrael avadim. God says, you're my servants, and you're not avadim to avadim, is the further message of the drush. You're not servants to other servants. That would be, certainly, that was a freedom that we got from Pharaoh, right? We weren't slaves to God said, I claim you, and now you're my servants. You're not servants to others, not just to those who would hold you as slaves, but even you shouldn't be. It's not really what God would want for you, that you be the servant of another Jew who are my servants. V'halach v'kana adon li'atzmo, and he went and he acquired himself a master. Tirtzah, he has to have his ear pierced. And that is further spelled out in the continuation of Rabbi Shimon, who made a drasha from the choice of the doorpost. He says the doorpost, right, which saw me pass over Egypt and pass over their thresholds. And I said then that all of Israel are my servants. And that meaning, as we just said, my servants and not the servants to others. And yet he went and acquired a master for himself. He needs to have his ear pierced before them, before the Beit Din. Now the Torah concludes and says, well, that's it. V'abado le'olam. He'll be his servant then forever. Even though it's not what God desires, right? You shouldn't be a servant to a person, you should be a servant to God. Pick it up a little more later. So what does le'olam mean? Says Rashi, quoting Chazal, Ad hayovel, le'olam does not mean forever, forever. It only actually means until the end of the full cycle. We mentioned the other day that we're working with the sabbatical cycle, and the sabbatical cycle is a series of 6 sabbatical cycles, okay? 7, excuse me. And at the end of that, the 50th year, the Jubilee year, anything that was sold, property that was sold to anybody else, all reverts back to the original owner. And even ear-pierced servants who were told le'olam, they're actually only servants until Yovel. That's the end of that. Tomorrow we'll talk about what is it? Why was it that God was so against this? And what are we supposed to learn ourselves along the way? Wishing you a great day.